Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1748B, and today's date is December 23rd, 2018, and the title of the episode is Agendas Exposed, Senate Was the Key, 2019 Changes Everything. Let's get into the economic collapse, political, and geopolitical news. Now, the deep state, they are getting hit from all sides, and they are just reeling from Mattis resigning. We see the government is shut down right now. Schumer is standing strong, saying that you'll never get the funding for the wall. And we can see that they don't know what to do. Remember, there's a plan in place here. And they're trying to account for all different circumstances. And we're going to be going into that in just a moment. But first, I wanted to start off with Mattis. And Mattis was pushed out as the commander of Central Command in 2013 by Obama due to his aggressive position against Iran. Trump tweeted out the following: "When President Obama ingloriously fired Jim Mattis, I gave him a second chance. Some thought I shouldn't. I thought I should. Interesting relationship, but I also gave all the resources that he never really had. Allies are very important, but not when they take advantage of the U.S. If anybody but your favorite president, Donald J. Trump, announced that after decimating ISIS in Syria, we were going to bring our troops back home, happy and healthy, that person would be the most popular hero in America. With me, hit hard instead by the fake news media. Crazy." Now, think about this for a second. Every person that Trump has in his administration that he's working with, he has there for a specific reason, for specific skill sets that he needs for a short period of time. Mattis was one of them. And we'll discuss that in one of Q's posts in just a minute. But let's continue with McGurk. Okay, McGurk says, "No plan in place, no thought of consequences. I'm resigning." Well, this is the U.S. envoy to the ISIS war. And he decided that he's going to resign now. Not really surprised about this move, because what happens is all these individuals start to leave their posts because they see things are changing. And Trump actually tweeted out, Brett McGurk, who I do not know, was appointed by Obama in 2015. Was supposed to leave in February, but he just resigned prior to leaving. Grandstander. The fake news is making such a big deal about a nothing event. He was going to leave anyhow. But we need to go back to post 2637. And this was December 20th. And it says, Rogers departure, Intel. Sessions departure, law. Kelly departure, warfare, military. Mattis departure, warfare, military. Notice a pattern. Well, let's start off with the first one here. Rogers departure. Intel agency safe with General Paul Nakasone. Rogers left. The intel agency is safe with this new individuals. Sessions departure. Law. Sessions, he was there for a specific purpose. Clean up corruption, clean up leaking. Now it's safely in the hands of Whitaker. Kelly departure. Warfare, military. Kelly removed leakers and traitors. So far, we don't have a replacement for Kelly. Has not been named yet. Mattis departure. Warfare, military. Mattis, his mission was to win the war against the deep state army. That would be the Islamic State. Trump gave him everything that he needed. Remember, prior to Trump, Obama took away the ability for the military to pick the targets. Obama, his administration, the deep state, they were choosing the targets, and they were allowing the Islamic State to expand their territory. Mattis was given everything that he needed, the ability to pick and choose the targets to get rid of the Islamic State. He did what Trump wanted him to do. Now we're moving into another phase, and Mattis, he's not the person for the job. He doesn't have the skill set to do the next phase of this job. That's why Mattis is no longer there. And as soon as Trump said, listen, we're pulling out of Syria, Mattis knew that his time has come. And I think eventually Trump would have said, listen, I need to get rid of you right now. I need to replace you. And I think that would have happened. Now, Q dropped some more breadcrumbs here. Let's go into post 2641. This was on December 22nd. Gave us a Twitter link to Phil GOP. And this says, "Hey, Senator Schumer, please address these views not only held by you publicly, but all the past presidents, including Obama. We were sent here to serve our citizens, not our ambitions. Build the wall." So let's take a listen to the video that was included with this tweet. Take a listen.
Real reform means stronger border security, and we can build on the progress my administration's already made, putting more boots on the southern border than at any time in our history, and reducing illegal crossings to their lowest levels in 40 years. Real reform means establishing a responsible pathway to earn citizenship, a path that includes passing a background check, paying taxes and a meaningful penalty, learning English, and going to the back of the line behind the folks trying to come here legally.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
Just saying no to everything may be good short-term politics, but it's not leadership. We were sent here to serve our citizens, not our ambitions.
As you can see, they were all talking about border security, stopping the illegal inflow of illegal aliens, and all this other stuff. But let's continue with the post here. How can the left refute this? What happens when you can no longer trust those elected to represent you? Fake, fake, fake. Truth and facts matter. Annans can play this game all day long. Q is showing how these people just tell us what we want to hear. They never wanted to have border security. A wall, nothing. They're all liars. They say what they think is popular at the time. Q right here, and Annans, they're exposing their lies. Because look, now they're saying something completely different. Then Q posted 2642 on December 22nd, showed a YouTube video of Schumer and Obama talking about the same exact thing. But we already heard Obama speak, so just take a listen to the part where Schumer is explaining how he's not going to give in to Trump, and then listen to him years back. Take a listen.
Senator McConnell wanted me to negotiate the wall with President Trump. I said to him two things. First, it's not a negotiation, no wall. And second, I said only you can persuade him that he shouldn't do the wall because it'll cause a government shutdown. Illegal immigration is wrong. And a primary goal of comprehensive immigration reform must be to dramatically curtail future illegal immigration. Second, operational control of our borders through significant additional increases in infrastructure, technology, and border personnel must be achieved within a year of enactment.
As you can see, these people are liars. I mean, 1 minute they're saying one thing, the next minute they're saying the other thing. Which is it? Remember, it's about their agenda. It's not about the people's agenda. Let's continue with Q's post. Fake, fake, fake. The more you know, research for yourself. And we need to go back to 2011 to Obama when he tweeted out the following. I strongly believe that we should take on, once and for all, the issue of illegal immigration. Well, when were they going to do this? I mean, you listen to their speeches, they sound great, but guess what? It's just words. If there's no action behind it, it's meaningless. They're just telling the people what they want to hear, and they're never following through. So Q continues showing more lies. The deep state needs the open borders. Why do they need the open borders? Why don't they want to go ahead and put up the wall and bring down more border security? Well, one, they need the illegals. They need them for the popular vote. Remember their 16-year plan? Get rid of the Electoral College and they would have the popular vote. And it's much easier to control the popular vote than the Electoral College. 2, blend the country so people have no identity. Just like Europe. If you notice, they were doing it in Europe and they were doing it here in the United States. Because what were they trying to do? One world government. No identity. Everyone was the same. 3, CIA drug flow. Remember, the CIA, they handle the drugs. When they came out and they said there's a war on drugs, it was not a war on those people bringing drugs back and forth. It was about stamping out the competition of the CIA. So they would be the only drug runners. Human trafficking. They don't want this stopped. This is part of their business. This is what they do. They allow terrorists in the country to keep the people in a state of fear. They don't want that stopped. So we have to remember the 16-year plan. This is about creating their one world government and breaking down the structure of the Constitution. Remember, with the 16-year plan, the part of the plan of Clinton was to revise the Constitution, remove the Electoral College, and control the people. But guess what? They can't do it. Their plan has been interrupted. Now, right now, we know the government is shut down. Trump tweeted out, "I will not be going to Florida because of the shutdown, staying in the White House." Now, he was supposed to go to Mar-a-Lago. He was supposed to have 16 days off, and he was going to enjoy the holiday. Right now, this isn't happening. Schumer is out there, and he's saying, listen, we're not giving in. We're not building the wall. This is not a negotiation. So Schumer will keep the government shut down because he doesn't want to negotiate anything. So an estimated 25% of the federal government is shut down because the U.S. Senate would not pass or even vote on a House-passed continuing resolution that would fund that part of the government, and that included money to fund a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. We need to go back to post 2626, where Q says, if the Senate was the primary target, majority control, 5347, active when? Well, that would be January 3rd. That's when it would become active. Think about what is happening right now. The House voted for the security of the border. It passed. It was the spending bill. It passed. It is now in the Senate. The government is shut down. The Senate will not vote. Remember, the 53 to 47, the control of the Senate, happens on January 3rd. Do you think the plan was to have it passed in the House, have it moved to the Senate, and they knew the Senate would never budge on it? Because guess what? The Patriots don't have control of the Senate. The control of the Senate comes January 3rd. Will the government stay shut down until the new Senate is sworn in? Then will the new Senate vote on that bill? Do you think it will pass? Maybe. Pretty sure. And guess what? Trump would then have the $5.7 billion funding for part of the wall, for border security, and he would have kept his promise. This is why the Senate was the primary target. Not the only reason, the first reason. They knew this was going to happen. And believe me, going forward, we're going to see many other things happen where the Senate is going to be used. And that's why they needed control of the Senate. Now, a couple posts back, Q put up a picture of the Chicago Trump Hotel with the elevator with gingerbread. And an anon actually visited the elevator. And this was a Q drop 2591 to 2592. And the original video of the elevator showed, different letters on the fireplace, and Q started to say, find another clue. Santa held a hammer. It was signed by QA, and some of the letters on the stockings were QT. Well, in this picture right here, you can see the Anon that is in the elevator shows the letters QTASK. Q, Trump, ask. So the Anon is saying that you can go in there, you can touch everything, you can remove the stockings. So many people might have moved it around or have done something to it. But they do believe that the other letter that we saw in the video, I think, is a B, and some other letters. And what they're saying is the whole thing spells out ask Q or Trump. Just ask. And again, we can see that Q is continually pushing Q proofs, trying to get the mainstream media to ask, trying to get someone to ask. So this way, the conspiracy would be completely removed. They wouldn't be able to use the word conspiracy. They couldn't have Q with conspiracy together. But if you notice, no one will actually ask the president at all. You would think, out of all the stories that have come up, one person would say, Trump, hey, let me ask you a question. Is Q real? But they know Q is real. That's why they will never ask. And you can see right now the deep state agenda, it is exposed. We see why the Senate is so important. And moving into 2019, we're going to see everything change, because on January 3rd, they are sworn in, and we're going to see many things happen during this time. Remember the indictments. Remember the placeholders. Remember Whitaker is now in charge of Mueller. Wray already visited all the FBI offices, preparing them for what is coming. Remember, timing is everything. Remember, all the individuals that were in the Trump administration or in the FBI or in the Department of Justice, many of them resigned. They were removed. All of this was being done to drain the swamp. What you're actually watching right now is the swamp being drained and prepared for trials. And when you look back, and you look back in time, when all this is said and done, everyone is going to see exactly what happened. Comey lied. Mueller was protecting the deep state. And they're going to see all of this. And people are going to write about this. And they're going to say, wow, we didn't even see this happening. But all of us that have been watching this and following this, we know it's happening. We see it. We see it every single day, with another person resigning or another person getting fired, where positions are being moved around specifically for the plan. Everything had to be done this way. And this is why Q continually says, trust the plan. Because remember, the deep state is deeply embedded in government and around the world. And what they've done in the last 2 years is absolutely amazing to get most of these people out of these positions and preparing for tribunals, preparing for arrests, preparing the country. That's the stage we're at right now. Trump, the Patriots, they are preparing the country for what is coming by dropping breadcrumbs out there, by bringing up the Clinton Foundation, by bringing up the Fed. They have to get the public used to the idea that there are problems in all these areas and continually bring up more and more of this information. So people say, well, wait a minute, why do we keep hearing about this? Are there problems? Is something wrong with these emails, with her email server? What was going on in the Clinton Foundation? The Federal Reserve is not part of the government. It's a private corporation. And we're not allowed to see their books and what they're doing for the people. All of this is being done on purpose to prepare America. And once America is prepared, the plan will move forward. And we'll see arrests being made. We'll see the economic structure being changed. It's all about to happen. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared.